You gently stir in the egg white with the souffle, and oh, well, that's Lord Miller. Excuse me, one moment.
What? Jim's what?
If the law been such that I could have run again, I know I would have had his vote again. You didn't understand that you have a picture of me in your kitchen. I am touched deeply. Well, Merry Christmas from Nancy and Bob. Oh, you said Miss Fanny. You just kissed you. What beautiful patriotism this man has for our country. I don't want to mumble on, but I just can't help it. Loyal supporters like you and your ambition. It got me through my 2 terms of office. And got America through those 2 terms also. And I think.
You're welcome.
Well, Merry Christmas to you all, and how are you?
We're fine. We want to know how you are.
Oh, well, you know, when you get in the older years, you have rheumatism and skepticism and all those isms. With all that in mind, I'm pretty darn good. Yes, they're a mighty big trap. Let me not gloom you this beautiful Christmas with such slanderous details, but let me just say that the New World Order is going to be world power that controls our lives with the currency system and the police system, the law enforcement system. And if you get a chance as Americans to still vote, while this is a nation, vote it down like I know good hand or foot. Beautiful man, beautiful man. Well, did Santa Claus visit this lovely home?
Yes, don't say.
Well, when I was invited to thank this good supporter, I tell you I was honored. Like some of you know, I jumped the first American airline, not Pan Am, not TWA, but American, if you'll remember, all the way to the Pocatello airport. How do you say it here, Pocatello? The Pocatello.
Either one's fine. Just Pokey, you'll be all right.
Oh, right. So, we landed that beautiful jet, American, in Pocatello Airport. I have a rental limo with power windows, TV, all that stuff. And came right here. pay tribute to this man who paid tribute to me in 2 terms of office, and if law would permit, 3.
One thing I'm glad about that you couldn't run for 3. I wouldn't be tempted.
Well, I don't know exactly how to add to that. But I would like to know your advice on how Mr. George Bush is doing, former vice president.
How do you feel about it?
Well, to be truthful, if it won't leave this room, it better not be this room. In this room is future leaders of America that have potential. I don't think he's doing so hot. He got us through the fake war and snowed us all again. Reagan looks so glamorous up there on the screen. Almost a kid of me in my acting years. But I have to say he's not doing so hot. And what do you think?
I admire your judgment, sir.
The loyal fan that he's always been. We want more supporters like you, the minority, not the majority, that would run this country the way it was meant to, use the Constitution the way it was meant to, and not shove it under the pile of papers. So any questions you'd like to ask me about the future or the past?
Past is prologue. What about the future?
I can't remember.
It's Christmas where I am, so.
Yes, it certainly is Christmas. And isn't it sad to think that right now in America, most people aren't thinking about what Christmas really is about, but rather they're trying to solve the world's problems. Or perhaps they're enjoying their Christmas presents that Santa brought. But truly it is a time to remember what Christmas is about. A moment of silence. That ought to do it. Thank you. That was beautiful.
Is it true that you and your Star Wars single-handedly brought down the downfall of communism?
Well, sir, yes, it is true in one sense. And that sense is the changing of the word. From communism to the New World Order. Had I remained in office a third term and had supporters, brother answers here. Yeah, communism would have fallen to death under no new name. But Mr. George Bush is not doing so hot up there in Capitol Hill, and they've changed the name now.
What's the toughest question you've ever had to answer at a press conference, President?
I can't remember. But I do remember the Illinois trial was the hard part of my term. And I'm sure glad it's over with and that he got what he deserved.
Is he a hero or a villain?
Well, you can answer that two ways. You can say he's a hero, or you can say he's a villain.
Okay.
And I plead the fifth on that.
Does Santa Claus visit the White House?
Well, when I was in office, he sure did. But now with Mr. Bush there, it's not even worth the time to leave the call.
Is it true that Saddam Hussein is really a CIA agent?
To my knowledge, he is not. He is half stepbrother or something or other to Mr. George Bush. And they are just bosom buddies to the end of that. So to help them both, they're trying to stage these wars and things to make us think we're enemies when really they're interacting to both have some say in each other's country. And of course, if brother Hussein, shall we call him, double crosses Mr. Bush, we can nuke him. As soon as we nuke him, Russia's gonna nuke us. And then, before it can hit us, we'll just nuke Russia back and the whole world will be ended. The Chinese will be left in wonder and amusement. It's kind of a tripod situation.
I'm visiting with Maggie Thatcher.
Well, yes, I guess she felt that I was away a little too much, but she never had anything to worry about. And if she ever brought it up, I just said, "Speak it, Nancy." No, I think my new calling and mission in life is to professionally speak to groups of people and let them know of the problems we're going to face because of the problems in the past. Before I was in office, that I tried to repair. Because Mr. Carter and some of those people and Mr. Franklin Delano Roosevelt kind of brought us out of depression, but the way he did it kind of shook us their downfall of debt, and that is going to drastically affect the future. And so I feel my calling is to tell people of the coming of them so that they may prepare for the best, even though it will be the worst. dinner, right?
What would you advise us to do about the national debt?
Try to answer that question truthfully, and to tell you the truth and be on the level, because I know you're very give you the truth. You need food storage, you need the types of things that would be of value in case the currency system falls, and pray for the best. See, right now at this point, I don't think all the money in the world can pull us out of debt. We're so far into debt to the 8 banks, and the other countries are in debt to us, and so with nobody being able to pay anybody off, and it all starts with little people like the foreigners can't pay their debts, and the banks can't pay their debts, and we can't pay our debts to the government, and they can't pay the banks, and there's just no way out except to be prepared and be self-sufficient.
Star Wars won't even help us.
No, I don't see how they could provide the financial need that we need to pull through this situation. Family unity is the key in the coming crisis, and I can't say when that'll be, because I can't remember. But when it's here, I do remember that we need to be prepared and keep our families together and teach what Christmas is all about instead of what Mr. George Bush and Spain are all about. And of course, they are run by Satan. But let me leave that with you on that.
Do you think that we're really under the national sovereignty?
Well, it's pretty big vocabulary. Give it to me in simpler terms that I can give it to you.
Try it over again.
Do you think our nation's so far under we can't pull out?
Yes, I do. I think we're just going in and in and in, and the government keeps trying to raise our tax and give away our national parks to pay off this debt, and it's not going to work. And the more they take from our taxes, the less we have to work for, because who wants to work for nothing? So they take away our pride and our money. We have no ambition to work anymore. Some of us are losing that ambition. All the hard years of work, especially the farmers who are going on there. And pretty soon there's not going to be much will to work. We'll just all go down to the welfare building. Hey, why not? Join the crowd. Can't beat them, join them. We'll all go on government welfare, and then it'll all fall, and then we'll have to reconstruct and rebuild, and half of us will be dead, and then the population crisis will be over, and people won't be there to cut down the national rainforest, and we'll solve a bunch of problems. But if we're prepared as a people, with self-sufficiency, our own farms, a way to grow crops, and food storage, and precious metals, and other such things, and storage of clothes and fuel to get around, then we needn't worry. And of course, remember, again, this special person who was born on the Christmas day, or he will help us see it.
In simple terms, how would you explain Reaganomics?
Reaganomics. Boy, I'm glad you brought that up. Reaganomics is a plan that Nancy and I devised with the help of the stars. And it would have worked when I was in office, but now that Mr. George is on a uphill climb to downest, it wouldn't work anymore. But Reaganomics Or Reagan is this. This beautiful fellow puts it, I guess it's just in part of the slang here. In Reaganomics. It means that all the nations would start to establish internal affairs. Because you cannot expand or try to help other countries if your own nation's going to pot. Now, Mr. George Bush has just sent millions and billions of taxpayers' dollars to Russia to help those people out. When we got bums going to the welfare center that are too lazy to work, and homeless that want to work but can't find jobs, when Mr. Bush should be finding jobs for all the people and get rid of welfare altogether, except for maybe a few months while people are looking for jobs. And by stabilizing the internal economic affairs, and then after that's all done, and it would take probably several years, maybe up to 10 years to get all that solved, get the farmers out of debt, get the American dream sparked again. The American dream, let's talk about that. That's what that's all. Reaganomics. Now, who can tell me what the American dream is? Surely some of the people my age can. The American dream that is gone. The American dream. A wife. Now, some of you I've heard believe in more than one wife. But anyway, the American dream. A wife, 2 or 3 kids, a beautiful home, maybe in the suburbs or whatever your dream might be, but the basic dream was in the suburbs or urban areas with a 2-car family. That was the American dream. Something to strive for. Bit by bit, paying for it, working hard, sweat and blood. And now, it's a game of poor pay rich, rich collect, poor get poor. And there's no middle class, there's no dreams, and we're falling further from that. And so now, back to Reaganomics, with no initiative or drive or way to achieve that American dream, because we're all going into debt, unless we're rich and collecting from the debtors, then Reaganomics would have worked by stabilizing the internal affairs. And then after that, helping other countries, less fortunate, people who don't have food in Ethiopia, and people that have diseases in Africa, and bringing all those together and opening new countries to roll forth. That, my good friend, is Reaganomics.
How many more terms would it have taken you to get this situation turned around and on the right track?
Well, our plan busted. Busted wide open, and we had it all set and prepared.
Do you want to sit down? Right?
By the running day of 1988. So pretty much by then I was out of office. Had I run another term, a fellow supporters.
Thank you.
I could have had it pretty well on its way, and any good person who wanted to do what's right for this nation could have taken it from those hard steps. But to get it fully going would have been 2 terms, 2 more terms, and the internal affairs would be stable, and the world, we would regain our pride and our workers' quality, buy out Japan, send them back to where they belong, and have some initiative to work. Help the education system so that we have better education for our children so that they want to work and strive hard. And also ban the ACLU for all time. ACLU, we could bring the man upstairs back into our school buildings. In Congress, in the House of Representatives, in the House of Senate, every day those people meet to restrict us with new laws. And when they meet, they offer a prayer. Now I can't remember exact words of those kind of prayers, but they probably say something like, well, get home safety. Instead of trying to serve the nation better, or have the 10 Commandments written. Now, if the Congress, I guess, figured that the 10 Commandments was there in that school building, and I heard this from a good friend of mine, Bo Gride, Colonel Bo Gride, if they had the 10 Commandments in a school building, somebody might read them. But we can't have that, because if someone would read them, they might ponder them. Heaven forbid. Now, this is all views from the Congress. And if they ponder them, they might try them. And then what kind of world would we be in? What kind of shape would we be in? We'd kick all the liars out of Congress and get the restrictions up and live in an American dream. Now, what kind of world would that be for the Congress? Well, they'd all be in prison and get all that good food that they voted for and passed so that the jails can have TV. What's the bad about that? So by bringing the Bible and the commandments and the man upstairs who made this country possible back to our school, the education rate would rise again to what it was before the ACLU tried to meddle in affairs, and bring us to a stronger point and teach the Japanese the Christian love that they need to go back and run their own country.
You gonna write a book about your presidency?
Well, sir, that's a good idea. If I can get Nancy to settle down enough and meet those star charts a little, and help me remember the stuff that I can't remember. And help type those things. And yes, I think that'd be a very good idea. And I would dedicate it to this man here.
Which did you enjoy the most, being the president or acting?
Well, I was asked this question once before, and I can't remember how I answered it. But with my present mind, I would have to say, I felt as president that I was doing the whole nation good. Trying to bring the rich down on a level with the poor, meeting them so we could have a center point, which would be the middle class. But when I was acting in my acting days, it was only the rich who had the TVs that could see me anyway, or go to the movies. So I think president was a much more important role in my life. Besides that, everyone saw me. Gorbachev, all the other nations, they knew who I was. And those American airlines would soar across the oceans. They knew I was a coming. And I was going to set things straight. Now, Mr. George Bush from Capitol Hill is goofy. And in fact, I have heard in rumor that he flies on Pan Am. remember thinking, well, I've tried to do my civic duty. If the man upstairs takes me now, let me go in peace. And let Nancy have a good final life. And let my vice president have the inspiration to follow on what I was trying to accomplish. Now looking back, I know that he would not have. But my thoughts were just those at that time. And when I pulled through, I got a very important cassette tape with a skit about a man that was pretending to be president and got shot because he told a fib or something or other. I can't remember it all now. But that good person helped me get over that shock. And he is sitting in this audience today. Mr. John Knox. I remember writing a letter back to him and telling him how much I appreciated it. I sure got a kick and a scream out of that. Got me back on my feet. Fully recovered, as you can tell. Got back on the track that I set out to do, and the promises that I made when I ran for president.
How exactly does Western music affect the economy?
Well, sir, Western music in itself pretty darn good. Especially with me living out in California, you know, my horses and all. Western music, if it ceased, if there was a law made in Congress after they prayed to go home in safety, instead of praying for what's right, if there was a law made in Congress to ban Western music, then those guys would quit recording. Some of them would switch types of music, but most of them would quit recording, and that would stop a lot of economical flow, especially out here in the West. And that would take us from this kind of downcline to this kind of downcline in the economic system, and just bring us a few more years to world destruction, which would need to be prepared sooner. Never too early to prepare for nuclear warfare, all these things. Mr. North provided all those kind of weapons to, you know, all, and that Mr. North is the only one that got caught. See, what about all those other colonels out there shipping things right and left and underhand and black market and things right and left that the American people don't know about? Some people tried to blame it on me in the past. Oh, I knew nothing about it, huh? Well, I didn't. How could I know about it if I didn't do it? That's pretty darn simple. That's basic fact.
What's your reaction to President Gorbachev's demise and resignation?
Well, I think it's a crying shame. I think that he finally turned around. See, they don't have an ACLU over there. So when he finally turned around, the whole country that revolving around him would have turned around. And I think he would have done a better job and brought the economy up and been able to help their country out on a new bill as the Americans did when the Pilgrims came and brought it back up to a technological level. And maybe we should have sent some of our Japs over there to help them buy out their stuff. And I think he sure had a good heart in the end, trying to do what's right. But some things just don't work out, like 3 terms of office. And they do run a long time, you know. They hit their 100,000-mile mark and still trucking. Of course, on the commercials, you can't ever believe them because after they've done 100,000 miles, they still have a brand new paint job and chrome bumper. But they do run a long time and are good cars, in my opinion. In fact, Nancy and I have two of them. But they are so small, you have to step in one with the left foot and the other with the right foot. But they give such good mileage, you can't afford to crash that out. The horses are just for recreation. If you wanted to really use them, it's up to the feet. So I think Toyotas are a good car, and I just think that the Japanese better stay out of the film business. I mean, who wants to watch 3 million different versions of Godzilla? They do a lot of darn movies. Besides that, you know, Godzilla, the 500,000 just came out last week. Tickets opening in box offices Friday. You've seen one, you've seen them all. Big hairy ape gets killed in the end, then somewhere it happens they get a new one. And he goes around and destroys Tokyo, so they have to move to the Universal Studios and make more of them. I think it's a fraud.
It does help the economy, though, doesn't it?
Well, it helps the Japanese money flow. And eventually it would stop our economy because, like I say, who's going to go for the 500,000 movie to watch the same thing? You're going to get less and less teenagers interested. Crime rate's going to go up. If you can't watch a movie, what you going to do? Of course you're going to go out and rob and steal and break windows and toilet paper. So, if you bring out new releases that are exciting, but, let me state now, they should be wholesome and not security like they are in the movie theaters these days. I took my little nephew the other day to see a movie. Boy, was I appalled. Boy, was I appalled. He said some dirty word like dude or something. I took him by the hand and we just left that back. And this was a G movie. Teenage Mutant Turtle Ninja or something. And if the Americans would get back on a moral level and have movies that are worth watching and fun and wholesome like the old movies in my day. The movies in my day were quite good. I do mean my day. The ones I was in. Because I always tried to be moral in those movies, and they'd give me some lines and have a few little swear words here and there, you know. Tried to make me look like Rhett Butler back then when you couldn't swear on TV. I just told them no right there. They were pushing me right over the Kuwaiti border. So anyway, with the moral decline, I think we need to bring it back up to a level that's happy and wholesome that we can all enjoy to watch, and bring out new ideas and new creations, and that would keep the economy up, not these ape movies that the Japanese
So what did you do with the $3 million the Japanese gave to you?
Oh, I put it right in that bank to pay off our debt. You know, there's a lot of people, you know, think you'll stashed it in my California home. No, I did all that with my paycheck. And some people say, you know, we bought a new car lot, invested in stock and bonds. No, I put it back in the
Horoscope.
I put it into horoscope and I put part of it, and this is just a minute part. Put it into horoscope and portion only $2.5 million. I put all the rest back into the debt fund, so bring our prices back up because even though there was no way to pull us out of debt until doing Reaganomics, you had to keep paying the interest so that they don't foreclose on you. Can you imagine foreclosing on a nation? That would be tragic. So anyway, I had to pay them to keep the interest up enough till I could get Reaganomics going. And then, yes, I helped with other research benefits.
How much does your library cost?
The library? Well, I wonder if Nancy would remember. I think there's a certain level. I think it's about $10 million. When you reach $10 million, my mind shuts off because it scares me. And that's why it was so hard for me to start Reaganomics, to get us out of that $3 trillion debt. And they kept asking me, do you want to pay raise? Do you want to pay raise? Congress, help us to get home safe. Do you want to pay raise? I told them no. This money needs to go to our children, our education system. But they insisted, so I took it anyway. You gotta keep everyone happy. You gotta try anyway. Sir, if you had a heart attack, I'd feel tragic.
You make me feel so good, I'll never have a heart attack.
Oh. Then good sir, maybe you would consider running for president.
I'll be my campaign manager.
I hear better than that is. I hope I didn't hear that anyway. I'll dismiss it as a kind joke. Because I know that supporters such as yourself could only be making jokes at this time to make us merry, even though our country's going to fall in a pit. Because our country is the pit. Now, I'm not talking about the country that our forefathers raised and that John Wayne came over and saved up. Over and over those cavalry movies. And they were based on true stories, I believe. That was the country that I would like to remember. And when I say that, I mean watching it in our American dream homes, on our American television sets, even if they were black and white. Watching that kind of America, going from that transition to the transition we are in today, where we have color television sets that are nice, but all they show is this moral decline stuff that I've been talking about. So it's no good anyway, so why does everyone keep buying the television set? I guess that's just the majority, Well, Jones is over there, use it. Smith's over there, use it. You might as well use one too. Now the news is good, and too bad that they don't just offer a national news channel, of course, with the ACLU and the Congress and George Bush and all the secret combinations going on. We don't get the full news coverage we deserve. But anyway, we should get what we can and then pick and choose and take it or leave it with a grain of salt and decide our own ideas and build our American dreams and not turn to those other stations that have those cartoons and Teenage Mucus Ninja Turtles, all those other types of things. suggest these things. I simply suggest things to her that would be better for our marriage, and if she doesn't think they're right, I just buy her a new star map. The star map very often alters what she'd have believed in the past, and she wants to talk about Mr. Sinatra. But when Nancy, there are times when Nancy gets jealous, and that is when Jane Wyman calls. Now, this is nothing that you might think. It's just a simple, small affair. Not affair, I mean matter concerning Alamo. The Alamo.
You love Jane Wyman as much as you love Nancy?
No way. Jane Wyman was for looks. She was such a beautiful creature. I thought that I had fallen in love with her when it was lust. And this part will come out in my new book. I think I'll call it Reagan Tells All. But anyway, that's why Jane and I got divorced. Because I finally realized this was not love as what I dreamed. I tried to form her into the woman that I wanted, and she didn't want that. And this was after she played Pollyanna and all that. And then she went on to be a big star in one of those big soap operas, Dallas or Dynasty or one of those. That's when I really realized that I could not love her like I did Nancy, because she was helping on this moral decline. Being on these soap operas, teaching children to backstabbing, blackmailing, backbiting, and all those other backs. But Nancy is... Nancy is stuck with me. Even a little better than this good sir, although he has been good. Nancy has stuck with me and helped me with choice decisions through my whole life. And especially in my terms of office. She is the one that taught me one of my most important lessons of life. She taught me how to use a star map. And she is stuck with me to this day.
The one that had Al Haig fired.
No, that was her secretary. Nancy's secretary. But I'm not going to go into great detail about that right now. But it's all going to be in the book. Dedicated to this man, Reagan Tells All. And if I have the opportunity to see you again sometime, I will surely sign it for you.
So when you extend that
When are you going to have it out? When can we buy it?
Well, it's just tonight I decided it was a good idea. So if Nancy helps me remember, we go through our files and stacks and rooms and libraries of star maps to know exactly what we did.
You're not afraid that Ollie North read it, are you?
Oh,
Oh, no.
no, because, see, I keep trying to tell the American people I knew nothing about the Oliver North and Iran-Contra affair. With that, and he's trying to pin it on me. And whatever I've said in the past concerning this, I just like to say right now. Oliver North was a kernel of integrity, morals, and values. And it was a sad day in America when he did that. And I even suggested to Congress that we fly the flag at half-mast. Because that was a heart-stabbing day. And we have folks seldom word sins. So I am not afraid of Ollie. And after we gather all the information and Nancy takes up typing, I suppose the book will be out in another 2
Well, potentially doesn't last 2 terms.
Well, we'll all know one day, won't we? If we don't know what I did in this life, we'll know in the next, and then no one can shoot me for it. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, people like Mr. Bush, getting on my case for telling some things that have started to happen that he's trying to cover up. And he's doing a pretty darn good job. I'll give him that. He can sure cover things up. Now, war, he's noticed all. Still don't know what happened. But anyway, so if the world falls before that, if our nation falls before that, we all die and go to the beyond, then I guess we'll all get to see it on a heaven-made videotape. Because truly the man upstairs sees all of them. You can say to this day whether I'm telling the truth or not. Just ask him.
Making you kind of tired, President?
Well, yeah, besides all those isms, I have asthma. And some people have figured out by now that I have that disease where you forget things. I can't remember his name. Alzheimer's, that's it. I remember. So, I have Alzheimer's and asthma and the isms. So I'm pretty tired, but I'm going to still fight and kick to my last breath to get this nation straight if I can do it. It's going to take all of us to take one more hill in America to vote for Mr. Bo Grice, who is going to take Capitol Hill and try to save this Constitution that is by a thread at this moment. And Mr. George Bush is reaching out with those professional and special-made scissors to snip that thread, and those suckers are that long. And he's just reaching at the Constitution with those scissors just every step of the way. Every step. no snooze. When we let him because he snows us. Who's he gonna start a war with next? He only has one half brother. Am I dipper again? Well, if there are no further more important questions,
I just want you to know, Mr. President, if you was running again, I think you would convince me to vote for you.
that's all I wanted. Know that my loyal fan, John Anders, would vote for me. Because I know what kind of power that you have in this valley. I know of the people that have to, get to listen to you. Frequently on your political views. And your new knowledge. With your new knowledge of new taxes and all that other stuff that Mr. Bush is doing, can set these people straight. And they can spread their little arm, go this way and that way, right, left, which way? Then we can save America. Because the power is still within the people if we keep it here. We cannot let it go. And now I must go back and catch my American flight before I'm forced to ride WA or Western. And so I thank you all for your support and your help. And bless you all for being related to this. Bless you all, and may all your prayers and wishes come true in the coming future, and be prepared for destruction.
Sounds like someone's been indoctrinating that boy.
Is that right? Oh, is that right? You got a house full of them, don't you? We got 7 and 5 of them. 5 of them right there. The others aren't old enough to be in 4-H yet. That's the only reason.
Judge have sheep?
Oh yeah.
Do you have him in Logan where you live? Or?
Yeah, that's where he has his, and I have some in Heber.
Oh, I wonder if he knows. You're both going to school?
No, I'm in high school. He's going to college.
But you're in school.
I'll be a junior.
Oh, you're the same age as my daughter out there and holding the land.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, did you? Oh, the poor judge. Where do you live in?
Wasatch. You know that? I picked your other daughter for grandson.
You did?
So far, things are going my way up.
I know it's getting late. We'll hurry really quick. I just want to make a few comments on the STAR class.
Show us your back.
And I'll talk about
I don't know.